breaking down the headlines with speed and precision. Welcome to Neural Newscast, where AI meets responsible reporting.
Get ready for a deep dive from Neural Newscast. I'm Daniel, your general specialist. Kara, our technology correspondent, is here with me as we dive into today's topics. On this day in 1937, J.R.R. Tolkien's beloved fantasy novel, The Hobbit, was first published in the UK, captivating readers with the adventures of Bilbo Baggins and sparking the epic Middle-earth saga that followed.
It's wild that a single 1937 release in the UK could launch not just a book, but an entire imaginative world anchored by Bilbo Baggins. How does one moment do that?
Because that first wave of readers was instantly hooked. The Hobbit grabbed attention and set the stage for everything that followed in Middle-earth.
From a craft perspective, starting with Bilbo and a contained quest that later opens into a vast saga is a masterclass in world building.
And imagine encountering Middle-earth for the very first time, 1937 readers stepping into that world and getting swept up in the adventure.
Which is why 1937 feels less like a date and more like a turning point for modern fantasy literature.
The release didn't just entertain. It kicked off a cultural momentum that carried Tolkien into the larger Middle-earth saga.
Exactly. One well-crafted Bilbo story reshaped expectations for how serialized fantasy could grow from a single narrative.
It also changed how readers engage with fiction, inviting deep emotional investment in characters and settings born in that debut.
That investment explains the staying power of Bilbo's adventures and how they catalyzed the storytelling that followed.
So when we say first published in the UK in 1937, we're pointing to the origin of a phenomenon, the beloved novel that lit the fuse on Middle-earth.
One book, one Hobbit, and a launch that grew into the epic legacy we now associate with Tolkien.
Time for a quick pause. More when Neural Newscast Deep Dive returns. Today we celebrate the birthdays of H.G. Wells, 1866, Leonard Cohen, 1934, and Stephen King, 1947.
That's a powerhouse trio: literature, music, and horror. And we promised a closer look at H.G. Wells today, right?
Right, H.G. Wells, the visionary who gave us The War of the Worlds and The Time Machine, helped define sci-fi as more than adventure.
What stands out to me is how he used speculation to probe social and technological change. His stories read like thought experiments about how society adapts.
Totally. He wasn't just inventing gadgets, he was mapping consequences: imperialism, class conflict, the ethics of scientific progress. The War of the Worlds flips the colonial script and makes you reconsider who's vulnerable when power meets technology.
And The Time Machine does that with class. The Alloy and Morlocks are a chilling metaphor for long-term social division, sci-fi as social critique, giving the future moral texture.
He also pushed us to ask whether scientific advances are neutral or inseparable from human choices, a framing that still underpins modern tech debate.
He feels like a precursor to today's futurists. Imaginative detail paired with ethical inquiry, the same mix we bring to AI or biotech conversations now.
Lesser-known angle. Wells wrote across forms, essays, novels, journalism, and used them to shape public discourse, not just sell books. His reach was civic as much as literary.
And the ripple effect is huge. Later writers and filmmakers reworked his ideas, from alien invasion playbooks to time travel paradoxes.
That long tail matters. He helped build a genre that keeps asking, what if, and expects us to answer.
Which is why, even at today's tech pace, revisiting Wells still frames the dilemmas we're wrestling with.
So celebrating H.G. Wells is really celebrating speculative imagination as a tool for understanding the present and shaping the future. Stay with us, more deep dive exploring coming up.
You are listening to NNC, Neural Newscast. Subscribe and listen wherever you choose, and be sure to listen to our archive for more content like this episode, published daily at nnewscast.com.
Thanks for staying with us on Neural Newscast Deep Dive. Let's get back to our discussion. The world's record for keeping a lifesaver in the mouth with the hole intact is 7 hours, 10 minutes.
That number really stops you, Daniel. 7 hours and 10 minutes. The precision gives it a strange kind of gravitas, doesn't it?
It does. Calling it a world record turns endurance on its head, holding one candy, hole intact, for hours as a test of focus.
And the specificity, down to hours and minutes, invites questions about setup and concentration, even as the fact stays tight. 7 hours, 10 minutes.
You start imagining the practical hurdles. Saliva, jaw movement, distractions, all overcome for exactly 7 hours and 10 minutes.
There's a curious human element to it too, measuring and honoring an offbeat feat with that precise timestamp.
It broadens what we call endurance, playful, deliberate, and measured to the minute, 7 hours and 10 minutes.
And you can't help but admire the dedication, even without extra context. 7 hours and 10 minutes stands on its own.
Which is why it sticks, specific, odd, and oddly inspiring. 7 hours, 10 minutes.
Thanks for tuning in to our deep dive. I'm Kara, and from Daniel and the Neural Newscast team, we'll see you next time.
For daily AI-powered news with a human touch, subscribe to Neural Newscast on your favorite platform, or visit our archive to find all past episodes and current shows. NeuralNewscast.com. Neural Newscast fuses real and AI-generated voices for fast, quality news. AI creates, humans review. We aim for accuracy, but errors can happen. Verify key details. Learn more at nnewscast.com.